When I took the oath of office, I swore to protect our country.
President Trump taking his case for a border wall to prime time.
The president has chosen fear. We want to start with the facts.
The Democratic response and what happens next.
President Trump claims that drug trafficking is tied to immigration, but is it true? I'm verifying his speech.
Another man charged in capital murder in the death of Jasmine Barnes. I'm live with what we've learned about his past.
A mysterious polio-like illness making kids sick.
And we're connecting the dots on the impact here in Texas.
We have a beautiful day to look forward to. Enjoy the low humidity. I'm tracking your next rain chance.
Live from the KHOU 11 studios, H-Town Rush starts right now.
And we begin at 6 o'clock with the president's pitch for a border wall. He says it's necessary to stop illegal immigration.
We want your take after last night's speech. Do you think we need a border wall? Head to our website or use our mobile app to vote. Right now, most of you are saying, yes, we do need that wall.
We'll get to more on what the president had to say last night in a moment. Also, the Democrats' response to that. But first, Cheetah, kick off our rush block for us this morning.
Okay, we had a cool front pass overnight, and now we're waking up this morning with the winds out of the north, lower humidity, and temperatures in the 40s and 50s. So this morning, grab a jacket. Today will be about 15 degrees, even this afternoon, 15 degrees cooler compared to yesterday. So that warmth, that humidity, it's gone. The clouds, a breezy start to the day. The clouds will continue to break apart. So sunny skies expected for your afternoon. 50s out the door, but this afternoon, mid-60s to be expected. Really, I think you're going to enjoy the day. Let me focus, though, on Friday night into early Saturday morning. That will be our next rain threat. Steph will talk more about that coming up in about 8 minutes.
All right, Cheetah, sounds good. Biggest problem in traffic right now is right behind me. You can see it brewing on our TransStar camera here. This is your East Tex Freeway southbound. Main lanes are open. It's that Little York Road exit that is shut down. We had an earlier truck crash and a hazmat spill. HTSO telling us this could be shut down until 10 a.m. So you want to think ahead, use Hopper Road. What does that do to your overall time? Not much. Can you believe it? Surprising. Those main lanes are still pretty good. Your speed 68 miles per hour in that area. Russ.
All right, Steph, thanks very much. President Trump is heading to Texas tomorrow to visit our border with Mexico. During a primetime speech last night, he called the situation there a crisis.
He'll have more meetings today to negotiate an end to the government shutdown. Reporter Matt Gregory is live at the White House this morning, where the president and Democrats, where they stand on this issue. Matt, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Russ and Lisa. Well, the shutdown continues here in the nation's capital, and the president last night addressing his concerns and reasons for wanting a border wall. Democrats countering afterwards, saying a shutdown is no way to negotiate.
But all Americans are hurt by uncontrolled illegal migration. It strains public resources and drives down jobs and wages.
President Trump's first Oval Office speech used to explain his side of the border wall debate. The president stopped just short of calling the situation at the border an emergency. Instead, he said it is a crisis, and for that reason, he won't budge on the shutdown until Democrats negotiate funding for his wall. And right afterwards, Democrats responded.
We don't govern by temper tantrum. No president should pound the table and demand he gets his way, or else the government shuts down.
Senator Chuck Schumer and Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi say they won't support a physical wall, but they will support other border security measures. However, they want the president to reopen the government before they negotiate. Yeah, so what happens today is that congressional leaders from both sides of the aisle will return here to the White House to negotiate with the president. And then, of course, as you know, the president will be heading to the southern border wall in your area, taking a look as he continues to make his push for that border wall. For now, in the nation's capital, I'm Matt Gregory. Back to you.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. And this morning we're hearing from those who represent you. Republican Senator John Cornyn writes, well said by the president. Shame on those scoring political points instead of solving problems. House Democrat Al Green said Donald Trump is correct in saying there's a crisis at the southern border. However, the reality is this is a humanitarian crisis that begs a real humanitarian response, not a wall. And a reminder to vote in our live poll this morning. After last night's speech, do you think we need a border wall? Head to khou.com/vote now or use our mobile app.
It is 4 minutes after now. The man charged with killing Jasmine Barnes is held this morning in the Harris County Jail.
Our Janelle Ford is there live. Janelle, when is he expected to go before a judge?
Well, Russ and Lisa, it's a little bit complicated. He's got a hearing today on a drug charge. That's what cops initially arrested him for. I'm told that he won't be in the courtroom for that one, but he will be in court tomorrow when he makes that initial appearance on that capital murder charge. Now, this guy, he's no stranger to trouble. We pulled the files on 24-year-old Larry Woodruff, and we found that he has 7 priors, and all but 1 are felonies. Now, his first charge 7 years ago. The charges range from trespassing to assaulting his girlfriend to meth possession and getting caught with a gun after getting out of jail. Now, this most recent arrest came last Saturday. It's that drug charge in today's hearing. Deputies caught him with 28 grams of Xanax. Records show he was denied bond because investigators wanted him for capital murder in little Jasmine Barnes' case. Now, his alleged accomplice, Eric Black Jr., he's not due back in court until next month, and this tragic case is one that's really captivated the nation, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on this as they go forth and seek justice for Jasmine. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Janelle Fort, thank you very much. Your Rush Block continues with the day's other big stories, starting with the Texas City community mourning the death of a 7-year-old boy.
A candlelight vigil here where Xavier Young drowned just 25 yards away from his home. The child walked through an open gate at his fenced-in apartment complex and walked into a retention pond. He had autism and was nonverbal. 3 fishermen found his body after teams spent hours using sonar scanning. A makeshift memorial now at the site where the 2nd grader died.
The accused Santa Fe High School shooter wants his trial moved. Attorneys for Demetrios Pogorski say the community is too prejudiced against him and he wouldn't receive a fair trial. He's charged with killing 10 people last year. Suspicious packages were delivered to consulates in Melbourne, Australia overnight. Officials evacuated several offices across the city. It's not yet clear who sent those packages.
Sick calls among TSA workers are not impacting Houston airports, at least not yet. Some airports have reportedly seen sick calls rise 2 and 3 times amid the government shutdown, but the TSA says 99.9% of passengers are still waiting less than 30 minutes nationwide.
And a proposed change to the way you vote. Harris County wants to let registered voters cast a ballot at any polling location on Election Day, the same as during early voting. Fort Bend County and Brazoria County already use that model. And that is your Rush Block. Let us know what's happening in your world. Just tweet us using the hashtag HTownRush.
It is 7 minutes after. I want to get back to the president's speech last night. He did make a lot of claims about drugs and arrest linked to immigration.
Brandy's here to verify some of those claims this morning. Brandy.
Yeah, guys, in the president's speech, he said, quote, every week 300 citizens are killed by heroin alone, 90% of which floods across from our southern border. Now, the CDC reports about 15,000 people die from heroin each year. That's about 327 deaths a week. DEA and Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement documents both show they believe 90 to 94% of the heroin consumed in the U.S. came from Mexico. Most of that heroin came in through legal ports of entry, though. According to a DEA report from 2018, only a small percentage of all heroin was seized by Border Patrol. So we can verify that the president's statement is true. All right, next claim.
More Americans will die from drugs this year than were killed in the entire Vietnam War.
So this claim is verified. CDC numbers show overdoses totaled more than 72,000 in 2017. There were 58,220 deaths in the Vietnam War. The president also asserted that in the past 2 years, ICE officers made 266,000 arrests of aliens with criminal records. That's verified, but it needs some context. In 2017 and 2018, ICE documents show it did arrest that number of aliens with criminal records, but these criminal charges included all nonviolent crimes, including crossing the border illegally. So not all 266,000 arrests were for violent offenders. Guys?
Brandy, thank you. If there's something you want verified, send us an email to verify@khou.com or post your question on our KHOU 11 News Facebook page.
It's 8 minutes after. Let's talk weather now. Cheetah, what's the one thing we need to know for today?
Okay, for dry today, dry tomorrow, rain is expected to move in late Friday night, almost into your overnight hours into Saturday. And we are tracking and talking widespread rain. So we'll really walk it hour by hour with that forecast in about 8 minutes, Steph.
All right, Cheetah, thanks. One thing you need to know in traffic is that we have a new traffic hazard. It's a stall you see right there on the left shoulder, westbound side of the Katy Freeway by Memorial Park. And this person is doing exactly what they need to do to stay safe, staying in their car until the tow arrives on scene. Lisa.
Thank you, Steph. 6:09 right now, and across the country, doctors are seeing a spike in cases of a polio-like illness.
Our Reka Motoraj is connecting the dots this morning on how this is impacting kids here in Texas.
Texas is topping a disturbing list, the state with the most cases of a mysterious polio-like illness in 2018, AFM. Let's connect the dots. AFM stands for acute flaccid myelitis and causes patients to suffer from weakened muscles. Sadly, this mainly affects children. In 2018, the CDC says Texas had 25 reported cases. The next highest state was Colorado with 16. And here is the really frightening part about AFM. Experts aren't really sure what's causing it. Most patients suffer a mild illness first with symptoms similar to a cold or respiratory infection, then suddenly suffer from a form of paralysis. Physical therapy and sometimes surgery can help, but not always. The good news is AFM cases in the U.S. appear cyclical, and the CDC says the recent round of cases appears to have peaked. Connecting the dots, I'm Reka Motoraj for H-Town Rush.
That is scary not to know the exact cause of that.
Yeah, I know, and it's just kind of popping up and more often here in Texas, too. I hope they get an answer to that. It is 6:10 this morning. We're glad you're with us. Singer R. Kelly facing a new investigation this morning. We're going to see how a TV show got the attention of prosecutors and what they're doing about it now.
President Trump considers declaring a national emergency to get money for a border wall. So how exactly would that work? We're going to break it down.
And it's kind of uncommon for the Rockets and the University of Houston Cougars to have winning seasons at the same time. Do you remember which years were the best for both the Rockets and the Cougars?